Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I just got finished placing an order with Eric, who is in my Fiverr Elite team, through Fiverr for some new Fiverr thumbnails. I'm very excited to see what he can come up with because it's time for a refresh for the Fiverr thumbnails. So I figured I'd let a professional handle it this time. Today's video, I was thinking about going through some Fiverr orders because I've got quite a few. Let's do... I've got some e-learning narration to do and a few other things. So let's just pick one and get started. By the way, this is Eric's gig. Look for Eric Rico Reed. I will turn your photo into a Fiverr gig image that gets noticed. That's exactly what I want to happen. So I'm hoping that's what I get. I'm pretty sure that I will be very happy with the results. I'm looking forward to seeing those, and I will be sure to share. All right, so let's get back to, let's see what we've got here. All right, let's open up Audition and let's get going. All right, first what we're going to do is I did an audiobook for a client, it's a children's story, and the client wanted a revision of, they wanted a little bit more emotion and feeling. And typically with children's books, they're read somewhat on the slower level so kids can follow along. But in this instance, this is for a much younger crowd. So we're going to add a lot more inflection and emotion, excitedness. Not so much over the top, but maybe a little bit. So I'm going to re-record this audiobook very quickly, and then you can watch as I go along. And then we'll get back to editing it. All right? All right, here we go. Okay, now that that's recorded, I'm going to go back through and listen to the edits and actually listen back to the narration and then edit it and see how it came out. So I'm going to put on the headphones. And let's take a listen. Oh, by the way, I have a audiobook preset in my DAW that has got a lot of different little options here, but it's set to the way that an audiobook needs to sound. So it's formatted properly for Audible and ACX. So that makes it pretty easy that I can just select the preset rack and edit to it listen to it in real time as I edit it. So I know what the final product would sound like. All right, let's go. All right, so I went through and did all the editing and then normalized it to -3 dB. Now I'm applying my rack. And once that's done analyzing and applying, I'm going to give it one quick little spot check to make sure that it still sounds okay. And then we're going to send it to the customer. And hopefully she likes this version a little bit better. She should. There's a lot more emotion and happiness, sadness. There's a lot more emotion reflected, which is what she asked for. Okay, air conditioner's finally off, so let's get this recorded. Okay. Now, just like the audiobook preset, I also have one for voiceover recordings, and then I also do a lot of podcast editing. So I have one for podcast voice repair that's got a lot of rack elements to it. But this was a voiceover for a podcast, so it's a voiceover. All right, let's check it out. Paul Lawrence Van. Let's go ahead and just trim the tail and head real quick. All right, now go back and listen. Paul Lawrence Van hosts the Wealthy Speaker Talk radio show. An exciting talk radio show. An exciting and entertaining show. Listeners, fans, and discover strategy. Listeners, fans, and followers are inspired, motivated, and discover strategies that assist them in improving their personal and professional life. Tune in, listen in, and phone. Tune in. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in as well. Tune in, listen in, and call in with questions at or join Paul and guest experts in the web chat room www.blog. We look forward to you joining us for another amazing episode of the Wealthy Speaker Radio Show. Thank you for tuning in, listening in, and encourage. Thank you for tuning in, listening in, and connecting with host Paul Lawrence Van and his guest. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in to another episode of the Wealthy Speaker Show with Paul Lawrence Van. I'm going to redo that last bit because I don't like the way I kind of blah, blah, blah. Family, friends, and colleagues to tune in to another episode of the Wealthy Speaker Show with Paul Lawrence Van. Yeah, let's redo that end part. Encourage your my clicker. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in to another episode of the Wealthy Speaker Show with Paul Lawrence Van. Okay, that should be good. Let's see. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in to another episode of the Wealthy Speaker Show with Paul Lawrence Van. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to save it. I still got a lot of transients, so for some reason, my hard limiter is really not picking up what it should. So I'm going to run the hard limiter again to -6 dB. Apply that. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Fans and followers are... All right. Now I'm going to save that. Okay. Now the client wants me to add his podcast music to the intro and outro. But first I need to separate this. The big one is the intro. The little one is the outro. So I need 2 separate files. Actually, I don't. I can split them in multi-track. So I'm going to do that now. Oh, I need his music. Paul Lawrence Van hosts the Wealthy Speaker Talk radio show, an exciting and entertaining show. Listeners, fans, and followers are Paul Lawrence Van hosts the Wealthy Speaker Talk radio show, an exciting and entertaining show. Listeners, fans, and followers are inspired, motivated, and discover strategies that assist them in improving their personal and professional life. It's kind of loud right here. I'm going to turn it down again. Discover strategies that assist them in improving their personal and professional life. Tune in, listen in, and phone in with questions. Trim that up a bit. And professional life. Tune in, listen in, and phone in with questions. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues. Let's trim this gap out a little bit. Also, encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in as well. Tune in, listen in, and call in with questions at 646-595-4797. And or join Paul and guest experts in the web chat room, www.blogtalkradio.com/Paul Lawrence Van. We look forward to you joining us for another amazing episode of the Wealthy Speaker Radio Show. Didn't mean to cut it. Just want to fade out. Wonder if we can time this. Episode of the Wealthy Speaker Radio Show. Thank you for tuning in, listening in, and connecting with host Paul Lawrence Van and his guest. Encourage your family. Dang it. Thank you for tuning in, listening in, and connecting with host Paul Lawrence Van and his guest. Encourage your Thank you for tuning in, listening in, and connecting with host Paul Lawrence Van and his guest. Encourage your family, friends, and colleagues to tune in to another episode of the Wealthy Speaker Show with Paul Lawrence Van. Oh, hang on. So I need to close those. Yes. Okay, so now I can save the session. Now I'm going to export it as a multi-track mixdown entire session. And then we'll open up the mixdown, and then I will separate the two files. So this one is now the new outro. Now, this one is the intro. hopefully not. I'm just going to trim off this part. So now that is the intro. All right, now we're going to go on to the next one. All right, this client has a script for a interactive English learning app. So we need to record some color names and then split them into individual files so he can upload them into the interactive media that he's using the voiceover for. So the easiest way that I found to do this is instead of recording each clip separately, I record them all on one file and then process them so they all sound the same and then split them. Sometimes I'll just leave a space between the different phrases or words, or I will add a marker to the file. So when I'm editing, I can quickly go back and see where each section is. So when I split them, I can see quickly which ones need to be, or where the start and end. And then I'll copy those into new files and rename them and then send them all off. I don't remember how many separate files he needed, but I know there were maybe about a dozen. So let's open this up and take a look. Okay, here we go. Use the word touch for every color. Touch black. That's pretty simple. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, that was pretty simple. So let's just process these real quick so they sound better. All right, so I have the RX7 Isotope Awesomeness for added post-production effects, which take out some of the mouth clicks and plosives and such. I have those already put into my rack. They don't take out every single thing, but they take out most. So I'm just going to, as we go through and listen to these, I might take out an extra mouth click noise while we're doing this. So all right, let's go ahead and apply that. And then now I'm just going to split the colors. Once again, my hard limiter is not working, so where is it? There it is. Hard limit to 6. Okay, save as MP3. This was yellow. You know what? I am going to make him a folder so these are easier to find later. And also because I'm hoping this client will come back for more of these. So I'm going to make him his own folder so everything is together. Trust. Now I'm going back and listening to these one more time before I save them just to make sure that I have the color name correct and just to double check that it sounds okay. Because once I'm done splitting these, I'm going to deliver these directly to the customer. So just a final check. See, there's another little mouth noise in there I missed. So I think we'll end the video here today. That was a little run through on performing and submitting Fiverr orders. Make sure that you subscribe and like and all of that fun stuff. I appreciate that. If there's anything else you would like to know, any questions you have for me, please send me an email. I will link all that information down below, or just simply leave a comment. That works too. Until next time, I'll see ya. Bye.